All hell continues to break loose across the United States of America while Donald Trump sends his goons, the ICE Gestapo, to disappear human beings, to separate families, to attack migrants and citizens throughout the United States. This is ghastly, ghoulish stuff, but it's among the most important videos that I think I do here at the MeidasTouch Network to highlight what's really taking place for those living in the United States, for those abroad, so you see how dangerous it is here right now and how, frankly, no one is safe under the Donald Trump fascist regime right here. The videos that I'm about to show you, they're hard to watch, but you have to watch them. We really have to take a look. We can't close our eyes and cover our ears to the reality of the fascist regime throwing human beings in concentration camps and mocking that they should be eaten by alligators and their bodies and limbs torn apart, disappearing people whose families don't know where they are as the Trump regime makes a mockery of it all. So let me show you what went down. This is a family separation operation by ICE taking place in Peekskill, New York. This was captured on camera. It is heartbreaking to watch as the children are saying, please don't take away my dad. Please don't take away my dad. But Trump's goons rip the father apart and basically say to the kids, nothing I can do. Say goodbye to your dad. Here, watch this.
I don't have any choice. I don't have any choice.
No, mami.
No, aquí estoy contigo. Aquí estoy contigo.
No, vale, no vale. No vale. Please.
I understand, sir, but you have to come with us.
Please, no.
Listen.
Now here's another video right here of a Canadian man who was locked up in an ICE detention center after the United States Coast Guard capsized his boat in Canadian waters. The Trump regime is basically ordering stuff like that to take place. They handcuffed him, they processed and turned him over to Border Patrol. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm in my boat on the Canadian side of the water, but the Americans don't care. They're attacking whoever, wherever, basically at this point. This is what the United States is doing to Canada. Here, play this clip.
I'm never going to be the same. You see, it comes and goes. I can't stop it.
Edouard Lallemand is still very emotional when he talks about what happened on Sunday evening. Lallemand was out fishing near Venise en Quebec. The water connects to Lake Champlain in the U.S. But Lallemand says he knows for certain he was on the Canadian side.
I'm seeing them. They're coming towards me. And I know in my heart, I'm in Canada. I said, they can't do nothing to me.
The boat that was approaching, he says, was the U.S. Coast Guard. They asked him to turn off his engine. He complied. They told him he was in U.S. territory.
No, I'm very sorry. I'm in Canada. And I said, you know, I'm polite enough to talk to you guys, but you cannot arrest me. You can't come across the border and pick me up. They did.
Lallemand says he started his engine and tried to make his way further into Canada, but he says the Coast Guard followed and tried pushing him into the U.S. Eventually, his boat capsized. Lallemand was in the water and says he was drowning.
You know what they're doing? They're tying to my boat to their boat. They're not even taking care of me. Not at all. I'm the one that told them. The third time I went down, coming out with water in my mouth, spitting it out, I said, throw me a buoy.
He says he was handcuffed on the U.S. Coast Guard boat and eventually turned over to Border Patrol. He was detained and placed in a holding cell without a proper explanation, he says.
I said, are you arresting me? No, sir, you're detained. I said, detained for what? I said, you aggressed me. I didn't do nothing to you guys. I didn't even hit you guys.
In a statement to CTV News, the U.S. Coast Guard says the operator was informed that he was in U.S. Customs waters. While the Coast Guard's 29-foot response boat was alongside the vessel, the operator put the vessel in motion and ignored commands to maintain course and speed for boarding purposes. The vessel then made an abrupt turn and struck the port bow of the Coast Guard. They go on to say that L'Allemand's boat capsized and he ended up in the water, but the Coast Guard promptly recovered him. He was eventually transferred to U.S. Border Patrol custody, and the Coast Guard says the actions of the operator of the Canadian vessel are currently under investigation.
We treat our pets better than they treated him.
After hours in a cell, L'Allemand was released.
When I saw him coming from the Canadian Customs, and he was flabbergasted. I mean, I've never seen him like that. We've been together for a very long time. He's like a beaten man.
He says he was injured, but he just wants an apology from the U.S. Coast Guard, and he's speaking out as a warning to other Canadians.
I want the people to know and to beware. Stay.
And as I mentioned, doesn't make you safe if you're a United States citizen. If you look like you're a migrant, if you have a beard, or if ICE just doesn't like you, they will try to disappear you. Here is ICE handcuffing and detaining a U.S. citizen, even after he proved that he was born in Texas, and the agent said, you look like one of them. That's why you look like one of them. So we had no choice. Shave your beard if you don't want us to come after you next time, is what ICE told him. Here, play this clip.
ICE agents pulled him over Wednesday morning as he was leaving for work in Southeast Houston.
And I gave him the ID, and when I went back down to put my wallet in my console, he's like, get out of the car.
Home surveillance video from a neighbor captured the moment.
Pretty much felt kidnapped. You know, they just put me in there, said I have a deportation order, put me in handcuffs, and took me to another location.
Miguel says he repeatedly told them he was born in the U.S.
That's what he told you?
Yeah, I've had a prior encounter with ICE. And
have you had a prior encounter?
No, I've never, you know. So I was even more confused then.
Miguel says they never showed him a warrant, just a photo of someone they claimed he looked like. And he said they didn't have a name that matched his.
Did they show you who they were looking
for?
So
they kind of flashed a picture at me. They're like, hey, this is you. And I'm like, okay, well.
Nearly 2 hours later, Miguel says he convinced them to compare tattoos. That's when agents finally released him. I reached out to ICE, and in a statement, a spokesperson said agents were targeting a violent criminal for arrest in Houston who had been convicted of multiple child sex offenses, who was an immediate threat to public safety. The individual with the same first, middle, and last name bears a striking resemblance to the individual temporarily taken into custody by mistake. When we asked Miguel what he thought of that,
it pisses me off because it's like, you didn't tell me what you were looking for, but all of a sudden now that I brought it to light that you pulled somebody over that you don't even know who it was, now all of a sudden he has all these other charges.
ICE claims they apologized and took him home, but Miguel says that's not true.
And they said, shave your beard off so we won't mistake you again.
Now he's shaken and frustrated.
Federal agents take an hour and a half, almost 2, trying to figure out who I am. You know, it doesn't make sense.
Miguel says he told officers he had his social birth certificate at home, but they refused to believe him. Anayeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
Now, you may have seen this story before, but this is ICE and DHS arresting 2 medical personnel at a surgical center in California for demanding that the officers trespassing in their building identify themselves and provide a warrant. And then they accused the hospitals, the medical practitioners, of assault. Here's what went down. Here, play this clip.
Let him go. Hey, let go.
Get out.
Get out. Coming into a private business like this? It's a private
Get out.
business.
You're touching a federal agent.
I'm not
You are not a federal agent to begin with.
I'm not touching.
touching you. Identify yourself.
Again, sick stuff. Here we have caught on tape ICE nearly crashing into a van of a community observer. One agent then pulls out a gun of the person who's videotaping ICE. ICE agents then call for backup to try to box this lady in. Then they drive wildly all over public streets, endangering bystanders. Take a look at what went down here. Play this clip. So a quick PSA for those of you on Medicare. The DOJ recently sued 3 of the largest Medicare brokers and carriers for allegedly deceiving customers, claiming to be unbiased while pushing them into plans that don't actually cover their needs, all to make a few extra bucks. Let's be real. Between Medicare scams, shady agents, and bloated insurance companies, it's way too easy to get stuck in a plan that's overpriced or just plain wrong for you. That is why I'm working with Chapter. They are the only advisors that compare every Medicare plan nationwide, and they tailor their recommendation to you so you get the coverage that fits your needs and saves you the most money. And the best part, Chapter's help is completely free. Completely free. There's no sales pressure, no pushing plans you don't need, just real advice that puts you first. People save an average of $1,100 by using Chapter. So if you're turning 65 soon or are already on Medicare, call them up at 82 Medicare. You won't regret it. Most people just wish they'd call sooner. Once again, give them a call. That's 82 Medicare, 82 Medicare. Give them a call. Most people wish that they'd call sooner. Call 82 Medicare.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm being blocked in! These motherfuckers are good. Oh fuck. Come on, bro. Come on. Let's do this shit. Dude, they have Alpha on their thing, and it's a fucking Ford with a fucking it's a Ford, and it has Alpha something, and the phone number is something. Alpha green. It's Alpha green. It's Alpha green. It's Alpha green. It's Alpha green. The Explorer is trying to hit me. He's following me. It's called Alpha Green. The business is called Alpha Green, and he's trying to hit me right now with his car. It's a Ford Explorer, and he's gonna try to block me in right now. His license plate is 77DF556. Ah, he's gonna hit me. Fuck. He's pulling a weapon on me. 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 He's blocking it. He's blocking it. He's blocking it. He's blocking it. He's blocking it.
Now, we also saw this right here in Alabama. I mean, this is going on across the country. I'm just giving you different data points, different locations. So here in Alabama, what we're seeing that they're doing is going after construction sites. Here, this is a construction site. I think they're building a school. But any construction sites in Alabama or elsewhere where migrants are just trying to earn a living, boom, ICE agents going there. They swarm with their helicopters and they try to, tackle and beat down the migrants, and the migrants have to kind of scatter and run away. This is what went down in Alabama. Here, play this clip.
Hell yeah, come on with it.
Tonight, HSI is sharing brand new information on yesterday's illegal immigration raid at the construction site for the new Loxley Elementary School. This was the scene yesterday. Federal agents swarming the $38 million taxpayer-funded site on foot, on four-wheelers, even bringing a helicopter along.
I was not really surprised because there was things going on that shouldn't have been going on.
The Gulf of America Homeland Security Task Force arrested 11 undocumented workers. HSI now saying 9 of them had been previously deported. Stephen Schrank, special agent in charge for HSI in Alabama and Georgia, says they are continuing to hold people accountable.
We're looking for public projects and things that our tax dollars are being used to build infrastructure. And if contractors or subcontractors are hiring illegal aliens to profit and make these projects happen, we are absolutely going to pursue these cases.
Schrank tells me before yesterday's operation, they received tips that illegal immigrants working on the project planned out safe spots where they could hide when federal agents moved in.
In fact, when we got there, we saw some evidence and indications of exactly that. There were aliens that dispersed to what has been alleged to be predetermined locations. They hid up in an attic and removed the ladder so that we couldn't go in and get them.
According to...
And by the way, do you hear how they even talk about, like, it's like they're hunting migrants. Like, you heard him, right? The guy is like, we're finding these illegals and we're hunting them down. We're hunting down them illegals. What the hell? Here's that, that app, that Churl app, that just dropped a heat map tracking immigration raids across LA. And as Christopher Webb puts it, the data is telling. Since June, 471 confirmed operations in LA, focused predominantly on specific neighborhoods, people of color, and Latinos, prove that ICE isn't targeting individuals. They're profiling communities. They're targeting people who look brown or black to meet their quota. 9 times out of 10 witnesses couldn't even tell which agency was involved because they're plainclothes agents wearing masks, unmarked vans, unmarked vehicles, running out, tackling people, throwing them to the ground in front of their children, and basically, removing dad and mom and destroying the lives and laughing at the people. Here, play this clip.
You can see the activity looks pretty widespread. Churla says it shows how immigration enforcement actions since June have focused predominantly on specific neighborhoods, people of color, and Latinos. The map accounts for 41 confirmed enforcement operations from day one back on June 6th through this past Sunday. Now, the highest concentration occurring in the San Fernando Valley. They say what the map reveals accounts for blatant racial profiling and proves that those roving patrols have occurred, but they also admit that conditions have improved.
Well, we have right now a judge's order that says the government must stop doing what they're doing and they must follow the law. This map reminds the government that Los Angeles is watching. They can do their job if they want to, but they have to do it under the law. As simple as that.
That being said, since the judge's order, Churla says that they have received reports of enforcement operations occurring, but not to the level that we witnessed before. They say that shows the order is being followed as ICE and DHS figure out their next steps in response to the judge's order. In its analysis, they say that 9 out of 10 times witnesses could not confirm which agency was involved, with many agents wearing plain clothes and traveling in unmarked vans. We, of course, saw that, making identification difficult.
And then, as Christopher Webb says, pause right now for 3 minutes and soak up the grace of this man. How earlier today, the father of the 3 U.S. Marines, Narciso Barranco, joined immigration activists and elected officials at a press conference. He spoke publicly for the first time after being pummeled and pinned down to the ground, savagely choked and punched by agents while they arrested him. He's a landscaper outside of the IHOP where he worked. Here, play this clip.
A mi comunidad no tengo palabras suficientes para expresar lo que siente en mi corazón. Así que humildemente les digo gracias.
To my community, I don't have the words to truly express what I feel in my heart. So I humbly say thank you.
Por estar con mi familia y con mis hijos, por no dejarlos solos.
For standing with my family and my children, for not leaving them alone.
En el nombre de mis compañeros de celda en adelanto, entre ellos Emilio Martínez, Lázaro Loya, Edgar Leonides y tantos otros, quiero decirles a sus familias, ellos tienen fe, los extrañan profundamente y aún en ese lugar, así la esperanza sigue viva.
On behalf of my former cellmates at Adelanto, including Emilio Martinez, Lázaro Loya, Edgar Leonidas, and so many others, I want to say to their families, they have faith, they miss you deeply, And even in a place like that, hope is still alive.
Emilio Martínez tiene una hija de 4 años a quien adora con todo su corazón.
Emilio Martinez has a 4-year-old daughter whom he adores with all his heart.
Lázaro Loya tiene un hijo con
Toma tiempo, señor.
con indiscapacidad que necesita de su padre.
Lázaro Loya has a son with a disability who needs his father.
A las autoridades les pido, con respeto y por favor, den fianza, no quiten las oportunidades de que se reúnan con sus familias.
To the authorities, I respectfully ask, please grant them bond. Don't take away the chance for these families to be reunited.
A mis increíbles hijos, Alejandro, Emanuel, José Luis, Rigo, Carlos, a la familia Santana, los amo y estoy muy orgulloso de ustedes.
To my incredible sons, Alejandro, Emmanuel, José Luis, Rigo, and Carlos, I love you and I'm so proud of you.
It's the United States of America in 2025 under a fascist Trump regime. No wonder why independents and others, why Trump's approval is so low. I'll show you this final clip here. This is MAGA Republican Congress member Nancy Mace. She says she enjoys watching these videos that we show right here because she likes to see the migrants suffer. She loves to see the suffering, she says. So here, this is how the Republicans view things right now. Here, play this clip.
New sheriff in town, I have to tell you, one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube these days are the court hearings where illegals are in court and ICE shows up to drag them out of court and deport them. I can think of nothing more American today than keeping our streets safer by getting those violent criminals out of the United States of America, and we all have Donald J. Trump to thank for it.
Take a look. Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
New Meidas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.